This has got to be the strangest way to revive a series. Now, if you don't know, the Carnitrix and the Chaquetrix were two devices created by two different people because they wanted to make a neat story. The Carnitrix was a horror story. The Chaquetrix was just horniness. And these two things revived the entire Ben 10 fandom. No other alternate universe did it better than these two, and I'm going to explain why. Here is how they revived it. The Carnitrix was made by someone on TikTok named Cannaba099. He's a Spanish speaker. Both of these watches were made by Spanish speakers. And he made a neat little alternate universe where Ben's aliens were horrific versions of themselves. The story of this one is that Asimov is a psychopath. Tetrax and Vilgax try to stop him. He kills himself, sending the Carnitrix to Earth. Ben finds it, and it stabs him in the wrist. And then, when Gwen got near it, the Carnitrix activated, because it thought that Gwen was a threat, causing Ben to transform in the most painful way possible. And he couldn't control himself. In these alien forms, he can't control himself, so it causes him to kill Gwen. And Ben can only watch as his own body controls him, bursting Gwen's skull. He then kills Max and goes on a rampage, which causes the military to go after him. He defeats them and unlocks Alien X, which causes him to wipe out his entire universe and go to a new one. And other versions of Ben team up to stop him. The only one remaining was Ben 10K, who uses atomics to wipe out Ben's Carnitrix, causing Ben to be freed of its curse. And it was Asimov who gave him the idea and gave Ben 10K encouragement. But the Celestial Sapiens brought back Carnitrix Ben's universe, but Ben's still traumatized from the events. So Paradox comes in to help Carnitrix Ben stop his young self from getting the Carnitrix. He stops him, and Carnitrix Ben wipes himself from existence, ending the story. And I love this story because Ben here, he's really sweet. The lesson is that even when you lose a lot of things, you can gain so much more, which was what Asimov taught Ben 10K in the story. And Carnitrix Ben learned that lesson. He learned that even if he loses his life, he gains a lot more. He gains happiness that everyone is now safe. And he's finally at peace. That's why I love this story. It has a great storyline, great designs, and it's just really well done. That's why I love this. This next one is my favorite. It was made by Trix the Alien, better known as Trix, who's the creator of the Chaquetrix. And let me tell you, this is my absolute favorite. And I'll explain later, but here's the story. Basically, Grandpa Max wanted a way to, bring peace to the universe. So, he gives Asimov the idea, hey, why not, have everyone be able to, fuck the aliens? That way, when the species dies, there can be a way to, make more. And it was meant for Max, obviously. Max wanted it because he wanted to fuck some bitches. That's the entire reason. It's just so funny to me. I love it. But unfortunately, Ben finds it. And he's 10 years old. And like the original series, the first alien he ever uses is Heat Blast. And while I'm not a big fan of this design, later on, they start cooking. But the thing I'd like to mention is that Ben doesn't even know these are aliens for reproduction. Instead, he sees them as heroes. So, he uses them for hero purposes. And the aliens, because the watch is a prototype, they mistake their need for reproduction for feelings of love. So they're all attracted to Ben. So yeah, it becomes funny because they're desperate to fuck Ben, but Ben's like, hey, we should be heroes. This is funny. But let me tell you, this AU took off after the reveal of Wild Mud, which is my favorite one. You can tell why. It's adorable, they're hot, and plus they look like a fucking badass. Now, currently, there's 4 aliens that have been made by this person. Heat Blast, Wild Mutt, Accelerate, and Ghost Freak. But other designs were made by fans who just love this. But the main reason isn't because some aliens can be just full-on waifus. It's because with this, Ben can actually have a deep bond with his aliens. We never really got to see it fully in the actual series. So having the aliens be their own people that Ben can interact with and have relationships with really shows him at his best, which is something I really do love. I mean, take any moment from the classic series and replace it with the aliens as waifus, as their own people. You can actually see that Ben has grown with them and protects them while they protect him back. And with these moments, you can now see why Ben feels that way. And that's why the Chaquetrix is my favorite alternate universe. It adds so much to the original series that the original series definitely needed this to make it even better. It gives more emotions, it gives more purpose to the episodes. And honestly, I love it. That's why I love it more than the Carnitrix. The Carnitrix is a neat little story. But here, it's an entire journey that we can continue even further. The Carnitrix story already ended. This is a way to expand on the Ben 10 series. And I love that. The Chaquetrix and the Carnitrix make it so that anyone can come in and then express themselves, make more art. It's fun. And that's how these two basically revive Ben 10. And with this revival, it makes it so that more alternate universes can be made. Like Astrophobia, that one prisoner one, which I really do love. And it honestly, it's beautiful to see. Everyone's coming together and expressing their art skills, their storytelling. It's beautiful. Honestly, I don't know how Ben 10 would even be without the Carnitrix and the Chaquetrix.